Good evening, everyone, and welcome to your Friday night update. I am Ad from Unity Trading Group. Before I start, thank you all for those who have subscribed to the channel. As of late, the subscriptions have been going up every single day, so I'm very grateful to all of you. If you haven't, though, like the video, subscribe to the channel. It helps us out a lot. It helps us get this information out to as many people as possible. To help as many people as possible see the markets how we see it. So it's very much appreciated by us at Team UTG. So, without further ado, however, BTC and where do we stand at the moment? Well, to be honest, not a lot has changed since the events from yesterday and the day before. So as you all know, 11,907 was the start of our push, and then moving up to 13. So around about $1,100 candle over the course of yesterday, the day before. Right now we're in a bit of a limbo, in a bit of indecision right now. We have finally got, however, that red dot on Steamroller to identify our top. Should I say that? On the Steamroller indicator, it is identifying that this area here was the top of this move on this time frame. So we could probably expect, if we're looking at Steamroller as a whole, or we're taking in this indicator, we probably will expect some form of movement to the downside to really give us that relief on this time frame. So if I draw in the relevant level of demand there, and that lines up very nicely with our 88.6 Fibonacci retracement down at 12,174. Now we're at 12,909 at the moment. 12,174 would be extremely healthy for a pullback. It would be extremely healthy for BTC. We have had a monumentous run up, from about 11.3 all the way up to about 13, with no real pullback. The pullbacks have occurred on a very small time frame, and we haven't really observed this on a higher time frame at the moment, starting with the 4 hour. And we've definitely haven't seen that on the daily, because we've just been rising day after day. It would be a fantastic pullback opportunity, or it would be a fantastic relief for BTC, to retest that 12.3 area. So we're about $600 away, and this will give the opportunity for some of these indicators to come down and really cool off a little bit, and I'm looking at you, Steamroller and RSI as well, because we are still trending above that 70, RSI level. We are well and truly above the 50 median, which is great for BTC on this time frame. But we are well and truly above the 70, and the same sort of scenario is happening with Steamroller also. As we all know, and we've spoken about this in the past, and we've spoken tremendously about Steamroller and how accurate it has been, and it is accurate. You can only just go through some of the data and see for yourself. You can even see just now on this chart how accurate it has been in the past for buys and sells. So I put a lot of weight on Steamroller, and I'm seeing this give us some sort of relief over the next couple of days. We could have another FOMO run. We could, on the flip side of that, move to the upside pretty much straight away and towards that 13,800 level of supply that I've got just above us to really give us that FOMO run again. We need some volume to enter this market. Let's throw the volume indicator on here. Let's break it down as much as we can. UTG volume, there we go. So the volume has decreased over the course of today. We have seen obviously tremendous amount of volume over the last 2 days, 3 days, even a little bit longer than that. And volume precedes price, so that's a good thing to see. However, it is starting to plateau and drop off a little bit now when, as we move into the last trading session of the week, the main trading session of the week, for a lot of the regulated stuff over the course of this evening into Saturday. And, we'll see if we do get that final push or another FOMO push up to 13.8, because this is what this has been so far. We've seen this news drop about PayPal, and it's been plastered all over the Facebook page. It's been plastered all over the Discord. So that's a very main factor of this movement of money into this market, in especially BTC. So is it going to be another sell the news type of event? The news dropped, this moved up. So is this a sustainable run to the upside? Is this something that we can say, this is going to kick off a bull run? Look, I'd be waiting for a little bit more of these levels to be reclaimed on a higher time frame before saying that. I know we are in an uptrend. I know we have made it a higher high, and that's fantastic for BTC. And drawing in our levels of Fibonacci, if I can bring that up. So if I go from swing low to swing high at the moment, we have a little bit of confluence at the 23, which lining up with that 4-hour level of demand there. So that's very close, 12.4 compared to 12.350 or 12.3. So that's not too bad. But that's where I'd be putting our 4-hour pullback to really start. If I were to give us a little bit of a better Fibonacci to go off, I'd probably take it from the start of the push, which would be roughly around here-ish, and that would give us a better fib level to work with at the 38, lining up quite nicely with that level of demand. And consequently, that was the same sort of level we were looking at before with the 88.6 on our fib. So all in all, the TA in general is saying that we need a pullback. That's what the TA is saying, and that's, you can see that on the chart. We can't have parabolic moves. This parabolic move pretty much started at around the 10.5 mark, where I've got that white line there, and we haven't had a substantial pullback since then. So it's been pretty parabolic since then, and these moves aren't sustainable. We know this. We know this. We know this from seeing parabolic moves in the past, where we observed this going up to around 13.8. where I've got that level of supply there. And what happened after that? We had a blow off top, and then we came all the way back down, and we even retested that level at 7,000 before moving down that level at 5,000 after that little run that we had after 7. So we know parabolic moves like this aren't sustainable. In terms of money moving into the market because of PayPal, that's, to me, not a sustainable thing. It's not realized growth with BTC. It's not natural growth. It's just FOMO money throwing in because of off the back of a big news story. So look, I could be wrong. We could head up from here. However, the TA is telling me that we need to pull back. That 38.2, 12.2 level, and that level of demand is where I'd be looking primarily. If not the first stop, or the first level I'd be looking for is the 23.6 in this instance on the daily time frame. And of course, the 4-hour time frame is going to give us a little bit more indication on where those levels could be if we have some levels in between that. But the first level that we need to really hold, I guess, is this level or key level of support, was resistance once upon a time at 12,475. So, a couple of levels for us to look for. And we'll see how this plays out over the course of this evening, and obviously the course of the weekend too. Moving on, Ethereum USD. We finally got some volume into Ethereum, and we were looking for this level to play out at $415, which lined up very nicely with this 27 fib extension that we had drawn in, from the live session and a couple of sessions before that. So it's good to see Ethereum, finally coming towards the trend of BTC. But for now, it's in the same sort of boat where we've got steamroller and a lot of our indicators quite overbought, sorry. And we're in need of a pullback or in need of some relief, to get some sustained movements into these markets. So I'd be looking towards this level here, which is just under 400, or 400 could be that, psychological support as well. So we might get front run off this depending on how much volume it's got in it. But 400, 397 level of demand there for Ethereum to pull back. And if we do hold this point, I'd be looking for moves to the upside. So we've made higher high. I'm looking for a lower high, to cool off some of these indicators before we retest that level again and then move to the upside. That's what I'm looking for. If this level breaks, however, if this level breaks and we make lower lows, then that bias will change. All I'm doing is reading the market structure. So that's what I'm looking towards at the moment, taking it play by play, taking it step by step, and obviously planning for what happens next. So looking at that 400, 397 area for the next move. Last one I'll look at is the DXY, obviously a regulated market. These markets are, this is not financial. What I meant to say is not financial advice. This is just ideas and opinions of Team UTG. So the first area we were looking at, and go back and watch some of these videos and skip to the DXY and see how accurate the TA has been. It is extremely accurate, and I'm not doing anything too substantial. All I'm looking for is demand and supply, and I'm looking for key levels for this to reclaim, and I'm looking at Steamroller. Steamroller makes a big part of this strategy. So if you haven't used Steamroller, it's available, www.unitytradinggroup.com. Up the top of the website says indicators. Click that, you'll see Steamroller there. If you want to get involved, have a look at Steamroller on unitytradinggroup.com. It has been relentlessly accurate on the DXY, and you can see that we've had that oversold condition, events that have moved up from those levels of oversold, and it's been fantastic so far. So based on Steamroller last night, I did say that we could possibly have some form of relief here, and we're identifying this level across here, which doubled as supply, and of course some support and resistance in the past. So that's where we did end up over the course of this evening, over the course of today, and we are seeing that rejection now. We have moved through it slightly. However, I'll be very cautious and very weary of the DXY because of the overall bearish bias. But for now, I'd be looking at a very small swing in the way of Fibonacci goes, and more than likely we'll see this end up at the 61.8 at 92.71 for the course of this evening, coming into the last trading session and obviously the close of this market over the weekend. So that concludes our update for Friday night. Thank you all for tuning in, and thank you all for watching the masterclass last night. If you didn't get that, go onto the YouTube channel and find that video. It would have been the last live session we did. There's a lot of good information in there. But to all those who have watched our videos over the course of this week and previously, thank you so much. For those who have subscribed, thank you so much. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, like some of the content. It helps us out a lot. And I'll see you guys next week. Bye for now.